All our generation wants is a small apartment and a spouse that loves them back. I also want a sword. In the Middle Ages some kings had clothes made from salamander fur, which were completely fireproof and bright white. The name likely comes from the common belief that salamanders were born from fire. The clothes were actually made out of asbestos. Bend thine ear and hearken. If thou or thy king hast been exposed to salamander fur, thou mightest be entitled to monies in recompense. Send thy fleetest page for a free consultation over morrow. Wait not. Summer Olympics. Who can run the fastest? Who can swim the fastest? Who can do the best somersault? Winter Olympics. Who can make it to the bottom of this ice slide of death and survive? Who can get around the rink without getting their hands sliced off by everyone else's feet blades? Can this guy do a 1080-degree flip without dying? Summer Triathlon. Don't run too fast. You have to save your energy for a swim and a bike ride. Winter Biathlon. I see you've been skiing for 5 miles. Now here's your gun. So, I was googling Cerberus, and during the labors of Heracles, the final labor assigned to him was to capture Cerberus, and instead of, like, stealing the dog, he just went down to Hades and asked if he could borrow his dog. And Hades agreed, like with the condition that he wouldn't harm him, man. This is hilarious to me. Hades was so chill. He was just like, yeah, you can borrow my dog for your redemption quest, just bring him back unharmed. Alright. Hades is a good guy. Yo Hades, can I borrow Spot for a bit? Yeah, sure. What else? A little fresh air'll be good for him. It'd be funny as F if the world operated like how people with social anxiety think it does. Like what if you got on a bus and everyone was like, wow, look at that piece of schlozer. Get off the bus, you ugly bastard. That's just middle school. Do you have a nice PP? How am I supposed to answer that? Has your PP been raised in a nice home? Does your PP have manners? He gets beat at home. So today I learned that in the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Navy became concerned about possible homosexual activity among their sailors. So they sent in decoys, whose job was to pretend to want to engage in homosexual activity in order to find gay sailors. Except then the job of the decoy got popular. Like, really popular. Like, worryingly popular. Reports said that the decoys were performing their jobs with much enthusiasm and zeal. Eventually the Navy decided to just stop. My country, 'tis of the sweet land of unfathomable stupidity. That about sums it up. It even rhymes. We, as a species, don't spin enough. Stop what you're doing and spin in a circle now. Everyone would be happier if we spinned. So spin. Break their control. Wine drunk me is a genius, as always. Star Wars is not about hope. Star Wars is not about redemption. Star Wars has always been about one thing only, and that's killing fascists. Oh, but Luke refused to kill his fascist father, and it saved him, and redeemed him with love. Yeah, and what was the very first thing his father did after? Killed a fucking fascist. And then he died, just so there would be one less fascist. I like the little map on DoorDash, because you can watch your delivery driver completely miss your address in real time. Daniel, you are going in the completely wrong direction. Let me help you. Daniel, I'm hungry. I'm opening my mouth like a baby bird. Daniel. Today's intrusive thoughts in the tune of YMCA. Young man, pick up that seagull and run. I said, young man, stealing birds must be fun. I said, young man, it's just sitting right there. Seize the bird and start running. Young man, don't just stand there and stare. I said, young man, go give that bird a scare. I know you're thinking of seizing the bird. Yeah, you're thinking of seizing that bird. Your brain will not chill, but imagine the thrill of firm, lie, grasping that seagull. Till that when you use laundry detergent labeled as a brightener, it doesn't make the clothing any cleaner or restore its color. It's actually a chemical combination that absorbs more light in the electromagnetic spectrum and re-emits fluorescent light to make the clothing appear brighter. Damn, it doesn't make your clothes brighter, it just makes them brighter. Homophobia is stupid. Who the hell is afraid of homes? Subs are so fun to play with. All you have to do is hint at what you might do, or back them into a corner with a look, or grab their wrist in a certain way, and they're a wide-eyed mess. F kinda sub way are you going to? Substitute teachers deal with so much. Boo. Release date, November 4th, 2016. These shy spirits inhabit Mario's world and have been known to vanish or freeze when met face to face. In recent years, they seem to have overcome their fears in order to pursue tennis and other social activities. Good for them. Not to be lad-phobic, but I think people who go for a bit of cheeky nandus in public are disgusting. It's Adam and Eve, not banter with Steve. What language is this? Talking to my infant son like I'm a YouTuber. What's up, baby? Father here bringing you another spoonful of Gerber ham and gravy baby food. Instead of telling tall people that they're tall, I've started asking them why are they so tall. Usually, the answer is I don't know, genetics, or something. But this one dude looked at me dead in the eye and said, hard practice and pure fucking talent. I was interested to know whether there had been any noticeable uptick in searches for the cask of Montellado since this meme began, and while there has, it's the exact same uptick which has occurred every fall in recent memory as high school teachers have geared up for their spooky October literature units. It looks very similar to a reading of a hit beat, a specific heart that won't stop beating from under the floorboards. I'm like a romanceable NPC. If you compliment me once per day for a week straight, you unlock the dialogue option to marry me. Throw my favorite food at me 5 times, and I will approach you and tell you I love you. Country rats. Wearing hats while I go give them pats. West Virginia. You all are still mad at your high school English teachers for making you analyze Shakespeare or Hemingway to teach you the most basic understanding of metaphor and themes in art. That's a good thing, dude. If people on here were more literate in that stuff, we wouldn't have like real worshippers. If the whole Area 51 thing isn't crowned meme of the year, or hell, meme of the fucking decade, I will write, y'all, we kept that shit alive for months. We got the government involved. We even showed up. We followed through. And you'll think that Shaggy using 1% of his power could do that fucking weak. The only meme that rivals Area 51 is OK Boomer. They both stayed alive. They both terrified authority. One had the FBI threatening us, and one had Twitter panicking over it being a slur. The two are equally powerful, and one should be the meme of the year, and the other the meme of the decade. In this essay I will. Till Charles Darwin married his first cousin, with whom he had 10 children. 3 died as infants, and 3 were infertile. He was the first to raise the question if incest may cause weaknesses in offspring after studying inbred plants in his garden. Charles Darwin looking at his fucked up tomatoes. Oh that me. This is the funniest comment I've read on a post. Plague doc with plague docklings. Leave me and my 3 PhD students alone. You've heard of the Roaring Twenties. Now get ready for the Screaming Twenties, coming to a decade near you in 2020. Is it too early, or can we start screaming now? I have no ability to perceive myself on a physical level. I looked at a girl and said, I wish I looked like that, and my friends almost killed me because apparently she cold been my twin. When I was younger, I read a romantic description in a book of a woman's Cupid's bow lips, and I lamented to my mom about how desperately I wished to have such lips because it seemed so romantic, and she was like, you literally have a Cupid's bow. And I was like, oh, This is great news. I wanted to have green eyes so badly, and one day I realized I do have green eyes, but 3 of my siblings have blue eyes, so I just conceptualized myself with the wrong eye color for like 15 years. Sorry, and where did that other dog come from? Why can't I look like her? Why do they call it oven? When you have in the cold food about hot eat the food. Yo, why John thick as hell? We ain't gonna talk about the stroke I just had reading this. My head hurts. Is it really so difficult, so troublesome, to put the bread tie back on the bag? My mom made this post. What you'll think gifted child discourse is saying. I used to be special, and now I'm not, and that makes me sad. What gifted child discourse is actually saying. The way many educational systems treat children who've been identified as gifted is actively harmful in that it A. obliges kids to give up socializing with their same age peers in favor of constantly courting the approval of adult mentors who mostly don't give a sh about them. B. demands that they tie their entire identity to a set of standards that's not merely unsustainable, but intentionally so, because its unstated purpose is to weed out the unworthy, rather than to provide useful goals for self-improvement. And C. denies them opportunities to learn useful life skills, in favor of training them up in an excruciatingly narrow academic skill set that's basically useless outside of an institutional career path that the vast majority of them will never be allowed to pursue. Discord. Teen voice and text chat. Hello my friends. I just wanted you all to know that the way Discord has stylized their logo, text makes the letter D look like the letter 9 in Hebrew, which is called Pe, and is pronounced sort of like P. In conclusion, Piscorp. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My friend's husband works for Discord. I had to show her this, and she had to show it to her husband. His response? The CEO is Jewish. He knew exactly what he was doing. They don't exactly take themselves too seriously. God bless. Till a star discovered 75 light years away is no warmer than a freshly brewed cup of coffee. Yeah, which still pretty hot. No Greek god is inherently and wholly good or bad, because they were all flawed and imperfect in some way, with different facets of personality and character to serve as a reflection of society and human nature itself. Oh, except for Zeus, he was a straight up absolute bastard. F Zeus. Do not. Most of the ocean is unexplored because everyone agreed that we'd all sleep better at night if we don't know what the hell is down there. 10 bioluminescent organisms that better cut that freaky shout before I call the cops. Till the 2 centers of the brain responsible for depression and anxiety respectively are both slightly bigger than each other, which explains a lot. Bigger than each other what? What's bigger than what? Any unable to parse this and explain it. They're just larger in size from one another. I don't know how to simplify it more than that. I think they're asking which one is larger, which is fair. The one that's bigger is a larger one. How can they both be bigger than the other? For one to be bigger, the other needs to be smaller. No, they're both too large to be the smaller one.